Today I'll do a little video on a cheap and easy cleanup. I got some aftermarket valve covers and Gen 4 truck coils. Looks a lot better. You couldn't really even friggin' see the valve covers before with the stock setup. And that looks pretty good now. Picked up some valve covers to paint, and they said they worked with LS2, LS3, and LS7 coils. And they also work with square truck coils. Hell yes. Okay, today I got a little unnecessary project. See, I got teal valve covers on this thing that you can barely see. I got these coils that are rusty, kind of shitty looking. This big connector is kind of ugly too. So what I'm doing is a different set of valve covers. These are polished, but I'm going to paint them teal just like the other ones were. These are newer coil packs out of a Gen 4 truck you can get for cheap at the junkyard. Clean them up real nice. I cleaned up one of them. Actually, I have it right here. They clean up looking really nice. Being all plastic body, they go directly to the valve cover. Looks good. And I'm eliminating that big ugly connector and splicing all these together here. Going to run it right along with the injector harness, and it should look a lot cleaner. I'm using these little crimp connectors with special crimping tools, and they give you a beautiful little crimp. Don't need to solder it or anything. Okay, one thing to watch out for here, you're just matching color to color, but these get a little discolored when they've been underneath the electrical tape. So this purple and brown, this is actually purple. This blue and what appears to be green is actually blue here. So just sort of trace them out and make sure you're matching color to color. Okay, I got both sides all wired now. I've got to do some wiring loom on this, clean up the coils, paint the valve covers, and I'll be all set. Okay, lay down some of this 2K clear coat. That's the stuff that pops the bladder in there. And it really does make this stuff look a lot better. I'll put a picture in here of what it looked like before the clear coat. But I hit that stuff. I even took care of the headlights and signals and stuff for the burb. But this is going to look really nice on the Beretta. Man, that does not show up in the video near as good as in person. I also happened to find a smoking deal on an LS2 manifold. The fuel rails look pretty good on there. And just like the other one, I cut down these ends to give a little bit more room to the fuel rails and stuff. This one is going to be for sale. The only reason I'm getting rid of it is somebody who was not me did sort of a piss poor job porting this thing. And this one has the virgin ports. So it was 80 degrees today in April in New York. So I'm getting this back together. I want to drive it. Yep, I would say that's going to be an upgrade. That looks pretty damn good. Oh, that is looking good. Significantly better than it was. My Lanta, that's looking good. It's got a nice little shine to it. Aside from the fingerprints. Hell yeah, looks even better in daylight. I'm happy with that. Alright, I grabbed some heat shrink tubing that actually has adhesive inside it. Because I tried this trick originally and the regular heat shrink slid right off. But this is now glued in place, so the fact that it was a little small shouldn't matter. Okay, and the reason it needed this inline PCV is because instead of the big like barrel style, this just had a barb. So the factory one has a barb on this side anyway. This has a barb on both sides. That's why you end up needing to change your PCV style to an inline. Okay, I also bought some of these ceramic spark plug wires. Excel makes a set for like, I don't know, 120 bucks, something like that. These are like $30, $40 Amazon jobs. They're super long though. You can see the terminal. Oh, it's hard to see here, but the terminal is a lot deeper inside this ceramic one than it is in here. So what I ended up doing was cutting one of these. This was a concrete blade. It's kind of a fight to cut ceramic, but we'll see if that works because they fit on 7 cylinders, but number, what is that? That one's 3. It's a little too tight with that header tube right there. And this one, I haven't actually killed any of these yet, but you can see this one actually lays right on the header tube, which is not exactly a recipe for success. So I'm going to see if this one fits after I shorten it. Okay, even this shortened one won't get on there because there's just no give at all in this bend. Like these other rubber ones have a little bit of give, make it a little easier to get on there. But I did buy a Plan B, an expensive Plan B, these shorty plugs from Excel. This is the only part number I found. P526S are a little bit shorter than the plugs that are in there. We'll see if that works. Okay, it's 30 bucks for this little bastard, this Excel, but it's shorter, and if it works, it's worth it. All right, well, this still didn't fit with the shorter plug, but it bought me some room, and that is no longer touching. So I guess that's sort of a win. Not the home run I was looking for, but a base hit. So I also realized that a Blazer fuse box cover fits the Silverado fuse block with just a couple little trimming marks and stuff. I did a whole bunch of multimeter work to figure out exactly what circuit goes where and all this stuff, and that's a video I'll have a little bit later. So these are actually all the fuses and relays that you need to actually run with a stock fuse block. But I went through and diagrammed everything, figured it all out. There's a bunch of hot circuits that you can use to add circuits in, whether they be battery or keyed 12 volt, all that stuff. You can run everything through here. So if that'll help you out, awesome.